perfectly for Okafor. That's 1-0 Leeds. Well, there goes that scoreless streak in the league anyway. It ends at 4 games, and they open their account here after less than 5 minutes. Now here's Strike again, the Dutch centre half, back to Beal. Justin comes off of Ricarte, but it'll find now space for Aronson, Brendan Aronson, the American international. Sandwich between a couple of Manchester United players there, and actually Paul Tierney actually did a free kick the other way. I thought he wasn't giving anything at all, but Aronson is, I think he fell into Casemiro, who's gone down holding his right ankle and looks in some considerable pain. The Brazilian, he'll not have many games left here at Old Trafford, of course. Yeah, it wasn't Brendan Aronson at all. It was Aidan Bogle who left a bit of a foot on Casemiro's ankle. You can tell he realised that he followed through to be in real trouble, and he tries to pull it back. Brazilian midfielder is on the ball now and is okay. Back to Lamens. Clips on forward for Sesko, but that's well read by Beal. Casemiro heads it up in the air. Ugarte will bring it down. Now Shaw on the left hand side, midway inside his own half, under pressure from Aronson. Back to Martinez. Clears first time. Sesko has to slide to get a touch on it. He does, but Tanaka beats Fernandez to it, and then Strike will go back to Dardo, all in light blue this evening. The Leeds United goalkeeper on the edge of his own box. Opposite number Lamens in also grey and fluorescent yellow number. That's flicked on by Calvert-Lewin. I think Bogle might have been offside, but Shaw steers it back to Lamens anyway. Euro now to Ugarte, the Uruguayan, who really is somewhat on that time. Free kick to Leeds just inside their own half. Fairly central. Okay. 10 minutes gone here at Old Trafford. This is the live Monday night football of the Premier League. Manchester United 0, Leeds United 1. No Okafor with the opener on 5 minutes. As Strike goes back to Darlow. Here's Beal. Long ball forward there. Header won by Shaw above Bogle. And now Euro brings it down midway inside his own half. Mazraoui. Euro again under pressure from Aronson, but Diallo, first time we've mentioned him tonight. Nice layoff to Mazraoui. Mazraoui skips over the challenge of Goodmanson. Now Fernandez. Fernandez, searching ball there, and it got away from Beal, but James Justin comes back to get to that one. That was a really good ball from Bruno Fernandez, and good anticipation from James Justin there to get to it before Sesko did. I think Fernandez was motioning to his big striker there to a bit more movement. It's a lovely searching ball from United captain Martinez over the top. Knockdown for Fernandez, and again Beal this time it gets there for Sesko. Mazraoui wins the header of Okafor, but away comes Goodmanson now down the left for Leeds. Tanaka, lovely pass, opens up the can a bit there, but well read by Cunha to get there for Bogle. Cunha, who rescued a point for Manchester United at Ellen Road back in early January in the reverse of this fixture. That was after Brendan Aronson had given Leeds the lead, so a 1-1 draw finished that day. And if Leeds were to avoid defeat here, the first time since the 1994-95 season that they have been unbeaten against Manchester United over 2 games in the league. Certainly started off well here. Now there's a ball through the middle. Diallo looks like he's way beyond the last defender, but here he goes, Diallo, and forces Darlow into a low save down to his right, just outside the box. He was quick to man Diallo, but let's have another look at this one. No, he's on. He's definitely on. I think it's Jacobio, maybe a little bit a step behind Gabriel Goodmanson there, and allowed Diallo that space in between. You can't do that too often. Eventually a fairly routine stop for Carl Darlow, but next time he might not get so lucky. Consider that a warning, Leeds United. Here's Strike now in the edge of his own penalty area. Tanaka. That's robbed by Mazraoui. Mazraoui now into the corner.
Welcome to our audio commentary coverage. This broadcast is not an official product of this competition.
It was announced that these two will meet in a pre-season friendly at the beginning of August at Croke Park in Dublin. So Leeds played a friendly at the Aviva against AC Milan in the Irish capital last summer. So two sides who have a big support base on the other side of the Irish Sea. So there'll be, I'm sure, a packed house at Croke Park in North Dublin in August. Here's Tanaka, though, where there's a packed house at Old Trafford here in April. Good header away there by Cunha. And Diallo is fouled by Strike. That's a cheap one, and free kick United on the right hand side, midway inside their own half. Of course, August is a long time away. We've got a World Cup in between then, and more importantly, an end to a compelling Premier League season that Leeds will be hoping finishes with them still in the top flight, and Manchester United looking to secure that a return to Champions League football. They are sitting third place, 55 points, level with Aston Villa in fourth. They hold a 7-point lead down to Chelsea in sixth. Liverpool sitting in fifth. As Fernandez looks for Mazraoui at the back post, he finds it and he keep it in. He did, and it had to be diverted behind by Okafor, and that's going to be a corner for Manchester United. So Mazraoui didn't give up on that ball. A bit of a arrowed pass from Ugarte. Mazraoui did keep it in, and in the end he slammed into those hoardings at quite a rate, but he's won aside a corner here in the quarter-hour mark, which Bruno Fernandes will take. Right-footed right swinger. It's dusky on that, what was a bright spring evening here in Manchester. Fernandes, right hand in the air, to a right-footed outswinger. In it comes, a dangerous one. Euro's up there, as is Tanaka, and it lands just over the bar. And the last touch did in fact come off United's French defender. He's looking towards Paul Tierney to say, did you not notice I was having my shirt pulled? But nothing doing, says our referee. And you can see the Manchester United hierarchy, Jim Ratcliffe, and that's Omar Barada sitting beside him. Also in the building tonight is, of course, Sir Alex Ferguson, but one of recent United legend Nemanja Vidic, the hard-as-nails Serbian defender, are watching on tonight. Okafor, the man who has Leeds in front. Here's Goodmanson, left-foot delivery, deflection. That's an awkward one. Well away by Shaw before Aronson can get to it, and Casemiro will come away with it for United. Now here's Diallo. Diallo running at Strike. He doesn't like that one. Now Sesko. Sesko's got his international countryman Biol with him. Sesko on the right foot. Sesko couldn't get a strong shot away. It took a nick off of Biol. And in the end, an easy save for Carl Darlow. Weren't many Manchester United players up with him there, Benjamin Sesko, but he'd have been hoping to do better than that. But not so. And Leeds survive that rapid Manchester United counter-attack. Here's Tanaka. He's just a real energizer bunny in that Leeds midfield. Ampadu now, the former Chelsea Academy graduate who has graduated to become a regular for his country and wears the armband here for Leeds. Here's Cunha. Cunha, was he fouled there? He was. Oh no, he's going to get done for booking, I think. Or going to get done for diving here and going to get booked for diving. Matheus Cunha. Well, only 18 minutes. The Manchester United's Brazilian forward gets the ignominy of a yellow card for diving. It was Biol who dangled the leg and Cunha went over, but there was quite clearly no contact. And, well, you can always tell from a player's reaction, and well, Cunha effectively rolled his eyes and accepted his punishment there. He knew he was trying to buy a free kick there. Usually times you'll see players getting booked for diving when it's in the penalty area, but Paul Tierney absolutely spot on there with that yellow. And now there's Casemiro, who's been in the wars early in this one, is now got a rattle from Dominic Calvert-Lewin as the two went for a header, and that's a free kick to Manchester United. It's one of those ones there where Casemiro was underneath it more and Calvert-Lewin came running onto it, and all his momentum went through Casemiro, and that's a free kick. So Calvert-Lewin, as I mentioned, back among the goals last weekend at West Ham, but after that searing hot start to the season, it's cooled off somewhat in the new year. Just 2 goals in the league plus that cup goal since then. Here's Diallo now on his left foot. Diallo, just see what he's trying to do there. He's trying to curl it into the far corner, but didn't happen. He may well have been offside there, actually. I'm not sure if there's a call on that one, but either way, he's dangerous when he's on that left foot, Amad Diallo, but just couldn't quite wrap his foot around it enough to trouble Karl Darlow. Biol now forward. Calvert-Lewin flicks it on, and Okafor's going to get to it midway inside the Manchester United half. His Goodmanson up to his left. That's a heavy touch from Okafor. Invites Mazraoui into the challenge, and even though he hurdled that one, he'd lost control enough for Euro to hammer it away, and Okafor apologises to Goodmanson there. There was a real opportunity to set Goodmanson away in acres of space down the left, but the goal scorer's touch just let him down. But throw in it is to Leeds on the left, about 10 yards inside, even less, maybe 5 yards inside their own half. It's Paul Tierney marches Goodmanson back as we hit the 20-minute mark here. Okafor out muscled by Euro. Nice touch from Cunha, but Ampadu gets in there for Sesko, and Darlow has to come out of his box to clear that one. Tierney does, almost rugby style, into touch down the Leeds left. And as we say, 20 minutes gone here at Old Trafford, where it's Manchester United 0, Leeds United 1. We'll go on 5 minutes with Noah Okafor for Leeds. You're looking for their first win at Old Trafford in 45 years. They've never won here, of course, in the Premier League era, and not since the 94-95 season have they been unbeaten across 2 league games with their cross-Pennine rivals. Here's Martinez for Manchester United. Casemiro out left to Shaw. Shaw clips on forward, looking for Cunha far too much on that one, and Justin can just let it skip off the turf and behind for a goal kick. So there's a bit of concerns that Manchester United might be a bit rusty, and well, perhaps in this opening 20 plus minutes here that has proven to be the case. In case you missed it, Manchester United have not played a game in 24 days. Well, since a 2-2 draw at Bournemouth on the 20th of March, with a combination of the international break and the FA Cup quarter-finals keeping them out of action. Here's Tanaka to Okafor, left corner of the penalty area for Leeds. They're getting forward again. Okafor on his right foot. Tanaka, edge of the box, can't get a shot away. Casemiro's there, but he recycles it back to Ampadu, and now strike. Goodmanson faced up by Mazraoui, left hand side. Just in line with the edge, 18-yard box. Ampadu's over there, close quarters. Aronson back to strike. Hurdles a challenge from Diallo, nearly loses control of it, but finds Aronson. Aronson looking for the run of Okafor, can see what he's doing, but Yoro can shield it back to Lamans to dive at his feet and take it. So, well, Manchester United, 7 games remaining, including tonight, so 6 after this evening, and they've got some big ones between now and the end of the season, including 2 of their next 3 against Chelsea and Liverpool, 2 of their direct rivals for these Champions League places. So as Goodmanson pulls an arc cross in and flicked on by Ugarte, more than that in a minute. Bogle, right hand side of the penalty area, deflected behind off of Cunha, and Leeds get their second corner of the evening. We'll say it's their first, but no, it's their second. Yes, Manchester United away to Chelsea next, and then home to Liverpool, a home game against Brentford in between, and then after Liverpool they finish away to Sunderland, home to Nottingham Forest, away to Brighton. But what's to say, with 2 of those next 3 coming against rivals to make sure of the Champions League places, can ill afford to slip up tonight. It's going to be a right-footed out-swinging corner here, be taken by Ao Tanaka, and it comes a good one. Biol wins a header, but can't steer it on goal. Too much space there for Yaka Biol, and I think it was Lenny Yoro was marking him initially, and Biol just out-muscling him a bit there. Yoro will be disappointed with that. That one from Tanaka almost landing perfectly on the penalty spot there for the big Slovenian centre half, but just couldn't direct it on goal. Here's Yoro. Mazraoui tries to skip away from Goodmanson, but he wins it back. 1-2 with Aronson. Aronson has to slide in though to keep it from Diallo, and Sesko will get it now on halfway. Sesko to Fernandes through the middle for Cunha. Cunha, lovely bit of skill. Bogle's still with him. Left corner of the penalty area. Cunha finds Diallo in the box. Oh, nice touch from Diallo. Oh, just too heavy in the end. And Biol will slide it out for a throw in. So pressure still on, and that's what United have been good at so far in these opening 25 minutes. They have looked dangerous on the counter, and that time it was Sesko to Fernandes to Cunha to Diallo, and Diallo initially had a good, clever touch to get him away from Yaka Biol, but in the end he just stumbled, and well, that throw-in's been taken by United and wasted. Leeds have it back now at Tanaka. Nice strike on the edge of the penalty area. Under pressure from Sesko, so he gives to Tanaka, who immediately steers it back to Darlow. He plays it outright to Biol. Bogle. He'll be inside his own half on the right-hand touchline. Finds Calvert-Lewin, he has to drop deep near the halfway line, but good hold-up play from Calvert-Lewin. Holds off Martinez, now Tanaka, and strike back in his edge of his own box. Back out to Goodmanson. Tanaka. Sesko was lurking with intent, but he gets it to Goodmanson, and now Biol on the edge of the penalty, on the edge of the D. Good possession here from Leeds. 25 minutes gone at Old Trafford, and Mark Strange live for you on Flash Score Official. It's Manchester United 0, Leeds United 1. Noah Okafor with the opener for Leeds after just 5 minutes. That's a Hurley Town challenge from Luke Shaw on the Leeds right, midway inside the United half, as he sends Jadon Bogle tumbling. I don't think he's going to join Matheus Cunha in Paul Tierney's notebook just yet, but Leeds do have a free kick. They thought about taking quickly, but they'll wait to bring the big men forward from the back. Michael Carrick looking pensive on the touchline. He has done a sterling job since taking over in January. This 1-1 draw at Ellen Road turned out to actually be Tanaka's free kick is far too deep, and there's going to be a foul in there anyway. Casemiro ended up on the ground, not quite sure who brought him there, but I think it was Calvert-Lewin again, so free kick out to Manchester United. That 1-1 draw at Ellen Road back on the 4th of January turned out to be Ruben Amorim's last game in charge of Manchester United. A week later, Darren Fletcher took charge for his one and only game in interim, as they were dumped out of the FA Cup in the third round by Brighton and Hove Albion before Michael Carrick took over, and it has been a solid job since from the former midfielder. From one former United midfielder to another as Fletcher handed over to Carrick. Tyler Fletcher was one of Darren's 2 sons. He's among the subs tonight for United. Casemiro intercepted by Strike. We'll go through that. Those subs here in a moment. Ampadu now for Leeds in the centre circle. Finds Okafor on the left. Mazraoui closing him down, but Okafor is now in the left corner of the penalty area. Now cuts onto his right foot across the edge of the box. Over to Bogle on the right hand side of the penalty area. Bogle cuts it back. Calvert-Lewin with a flick. It's still there. Martinez blocked it. It's still bobbling around. Still bobbling. Goodmanson. And there's a foul in there again on Calvert-Lewin, who looks incredulous at Paul Tierney. Well, I think actually Calvert-Lewin tried the flick, thought the play was dead, and the ball ended up back at his feet. It was good work from Goodmanson to find Bogle. So I find Okafor, then find Bogle. Calvert-Lewin's flick was blocked. I don't think it actually was. I think it might have been Okafor. It was adjudged to a foul. Mazraoui in there. Bit of a cheap one given by Paul Tierney, but it eased the pressure there for Manchester United. It's now back with Goodmanson on the left, and he's left that one short for Strike, and Sesko can bring Fernandes into play. Fernandes goes to ground on a challenge from Ampadu, and well, I think these players thought that was a free kick there. Goodmanson stopped and with the ball at his feet, almost threw his arms up into the air in frustration, and then realised, hold on, nobody stopped here. So play goes on, even though Fernandes has stayed down. Now Leeds on the right hand side. James Justin, what a ball. Euro well intercepted. That could have gone anywhere. Martinez to Casemiro. Oh, he's been robbed by Ampadu. Ampadu to Aronson, blocked. Oh, Ampadu maybe could have had a shot himself. Blocked by Ugarte. Here's Goodmanson, clips into the back post. Shaw heads it away ahead of Bogle. Okafor back in. Is Calvert-Lewin onside? Not sure. Martinez heads it away. Aronson wins the header up there with Casemiro. Shot deflected. It's in. It's Okafor again. It took a big nick on the way through, but he's volleyed it home from the edge of the box. And Noah Okafor is loving his Monday night at Old Trafford. Leeds are loving their Monday night at Old Trafford. It is Manchester United 0, Leeds United 2. Manchester United did not get their head back in that one after Bruno Fernandes thought he should have had a free kick. They stopped playing, and Leeds carried on, and Manchester United couldn't get the ball away from them. And it is the away end at Old Trafford has erupted again, as it's Noah Okafor again. It was initially a great ball in from Justin, but Euro got away. Terrible lapse in concentration from Casemiro. Not sure why Martinez passed it to him in the first place. Eventually it's worked back. Goodmanson's header. Sorry, Martinez's header away. Aronson and Casemiro challenged. Okafor swings a leg at it. It takes a nick off Lenny Euro on the way through. And Leeds United lead 2-0 at Old Trafford. Really good work, you have to say, from Brendan Aronson to keep that one alive. I'm going to drop to Okafor. It's a good hit, but I think Lamens is getting to that if it doesn't take the nick off of Euro, and it nestles in the bottom corner. Completely wrong foots the Manchester United goalkeeper. And as we hit the half-hour mark here, it is Manchester United 0, Leeds United 2. Noah Okafor at the double for Daniel Farke's men. Well, Manchester United are certainly looking rusty, and Leeds have springboarded off their cup quarter-final win last weekend. But now here's Fernandes in the box, flicks it on. Biol has to turn it behind for a corner. Good response from Manchester United, but they did not respond well to whenever Fernandes thought he should have had a foul after the challenge from Ethan Ampadu. In fact, so much so I think everyone in their building thought there was a foul, as Gabriel Goodmanson actually stopped playing briefly before he realised, hold on, let's keep going here. And after a bit of head tennis around the box, Noah Okafor brought it to an end with a deflected volley into the bottom corner. Now Fernandes will take this corner, right-footed in-swinger. Headed up and away by Strike. Goes up to the right-hand side of the penalty area for Diallo. Mazraoui, was he fouled there? He was. That's a cheap one given away by Okafor. And Manchester United need to respond here. Yeah, Okafor didn't need to do that, but now he's given Manchester United a good free kick in a dangerous area. Around 25 yards from goal, Bruno Fernandes is roughly in line with the right-hand edge of the 18-yard box. White shirts and red shirts gather in the middle between the edge of the box and the penalty spot. Two-man Leeds wall in front of him. Fernandes, right hand goes in the air, right-footed delivery, deep in there, bodies on the floor, doesn't matter. Darlow plucks it out of the air anyway. It was a poor delivery by Bruno Fernandes, and Carl Darlow will hold on to it for as long as he's legally allowed to before side-footing a volley down there. Mashraoui beats Aronson to it, but now it's picked up again here by Leeds, and now it's Calvert-Lewin, right-hand side of the penalty area, cuts it back. Oh, and well cleared by Mashraoui. Could have gone anywhere with Aronson lurking. Calvert-Lewin gets that one. It's fouled by Cunha, and Leeds will now have a dangerous free kick here on the right-hand side, roughly in line with the edge of the 18-yard box. Cunha needs to be careful. He's running on a yellow, but Paul Tierney's keeping his card in his pocket this time. That was great work from Jayden Bogle. Superb interception, you must say, from Nusayr Mashraoui. One of those ones sliding in front of your own keeper. Could have gone anywhere, because if he hadn't got to it, Brendan Aronson was tucking that in at the back post, and Leeds are looking hungry here. 33 minutes gone. They lead 2-0 at Old Trafford. And now they have a dangerous looking free kick that Ao Tanaka will take. There's 3 white shirts along the edge of the 18-yard box, completely unmarked. But Tanaka's going to ignore them, delivers it in deep there. One header, one by strike, but hooked away by Casemiro. Bogle will go back to the centre circle to get it for Leeds, and they'll start again. He's at quarterback there, Bogle. Flicked on by Biol. Oh, and Martinez. Again, another awkward looking one in there. Got to it in front of Calvert-Lewin, and in the end turns it into his goalkeeper's gloves. Could have easily turned that into his own net. That's a loose pass from Casemiro, but Martinez is alert to it and beats Calvert-Lewin to it. United are really looking rusty. They look like a side that haven't seen action in over 3 weeks. Here's Ugarte.